buttons. I want to try something just to see if this works. If I can set the game title from here, I was just curious. I was about to do it as I was going live, and I was like, I'll just fuck it. Okay, set game, and it's just chatting. Just want to see if this will launch, like if this will actually do it correctly. Yeah, right, okay, it does actually work, right, okay, that's fine. That's fine, and dandy. Right, so, random, super duper, extra stream is what it is. So, the plan is, right, work was horrendous today, let's not talk about it. It was a long day. It was a long, long day. I'm only off tomorrow, and then I'm back for 3 in a row. So, I thought, let's lock in a little stream, but one of the things going into getting to Spain and going to Spain in a couple of weeks to play some universities, we're travelling over to Spain to play some cards, is one of the things that they don't necessarily have over there is retro. They don't have the format as much. Obviously, it's a more newer community, so they don't have that infrastructure essentially. Whereas obviously when we're over here and in the UK and stuff like that, you've got everyone from the Daubers that just fucking overload everybody until they play retro, and it's fucking awesome. So I decided one of the previous events, which was Chelmsford was the first one, but last year I'd bought a bunch of cards, and the idea was I was going to make up a bunch more retro packs. So what I had did is I'll even show one because there's a couple that I started sealing up, for instance, which we are going to open because I'm going to reseal everything anyway. But we'll open this one, for instance, just as an example. I bought a bunch of cards off of our friend Steve down south, so that we could influx some rares into what I was already giving out. Obviously, I was giving out a lot of these like character packs. So one of the things I like doing, obviously Murray does it where it's to beat the judge, and if Murray will take down like 10, 15 pauper decks, right? And if you beat it with your standard deck, you get to keep the deck. So I always liked Murray doing that role. I thought that was always great. I was like, well, how can we do other prize support for retro? So one of the things I was doing, for instance, was can we give packs away that entail a bunch of cards? So what I started doing, which was supposed to start at Chelmsford, was can I make up character packs? So in this scenario, right, we have Katana from Mortal Kombat. We have 2 of her rare cards, which is Fanado, and then I gave 2 of her rare foundations in the form of Danian royalty, and then they gave that person a playset of the common attacks, 2 of them, and then the common found / uncommon foundations. So the idea was, here's a whack of them, right? And here's some character packs. Now, obviously, I think I gave a couple away, but what ended up happening was basically I got incredibly unwell, obviously, for Chelmsford. I had a stroke, and it totally sidelined 90% of it. So the idea of going down, to be quite honest, when I went down, as much as I wanted to support retro and continue supporting retro, the health was a little bit more of a scare than initially planned. So going down was just one of those. I just want to see everybody. I wasn't going to die, obviously. Well, I didn't think I was going to die, but like I didn't think that was going to be the case. But I was kind of getting down there, being like, I'm down here just to see people, see the crowd, see the groups and stuff like that. I wanted to finish this, but I was not in a healthy state to really be able to focus on it. So what I ended up having though was a whack of characters. So like I've actually still got them all divided, I think, pretty well. I hope. So there's like, but I think I ended up with about 21, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, about 20, 21 is what I ended up on. And essentially I was like, well, we need to use these. I want to try and get a good few of these out. So obviously we're going to Spain, and I was like, how could I maximize getting people hyped for retro? Obviously you've got Rochester Retro, which is great as a format. I think in the grand scheme of things though, to be quite honest with you, one of the big things we're going to be pushing for, and just in general setting up, is I want the Daubers, along with a couple of other people and a couple other kind of like community-esque leaders, to be able to really kind of like set in stone. Like the company's never going to touch retro, so it's going to be a community format. And I just want what I want for OG retro is for like the attune cards to work in it. I would like that to be a case. I would like to be able to push for that being a case where we can actually really put it into retro, because right now it means that, I mean, realistically you're locked to one symbol, but it just means there's a bunch of cards that have a single symbol on them. So if you're not playing that symbol, you can't play them. I feel like as if there's a world where retro could have the attuned scenario in it. Like, I don't know, like I would have to really rules dig to it to figure out whether or not like the is the best case scenario. Like, does it count as having the previous card symbol so that it chains, or does it count as being exempt from symbol chaining? Maybe, potentially. Like, I don't know. There's a million and one ways to kind of figure it out. But for today, I was just along these scenarios and deciding of I want to make at least a retro deck tonight. As I say, tomorrow I am taking the day off. Because I'm working the next 3 after that, so I will be tired. Today was tiring enough anyway, so to be honest with you, I was kind of like half tempted to be like, do I just patch this? But I thought, no, I've got to do it. Got to do it, because if I don't, I'll hate myself for not doing it. But what I thought was, we're going to take one of these decks as a baseline kit, and ideally what I'm thinking is at least the 2 rare cards, so the 4 copies in total, 2 of the foundation, 2 of the attack, have to be in the deck. That's the complementous scenario, has to be included. So I'm just looking at a couple of them now and seeing like, what do we have? Like, oh, I found a good one to start with. Oh, that could be fun. Right. Let's see if we can make a popper version of this deck. Right, well, I'm going to sneeze a second. This guy came out for Street Fighter versus. I'm about to sneeze again. Holy shit! Hold the bus. 1 minute. God almighty. Right, take 2. Sorry. So this character came out with Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers. I would call him the bane of my fucking existence. I loved playing as him when I did occasionally play as him, but as playing against him, he was one of the most aggro heavy characters that ever existed. We got a Kuma 2 dot. So we're going to build a Kuma 2 dot. The 2 cards that he has as a rare is he has got his Kongu Karazutia Zaraburu. That's the word. Somebody figure that out. Holy shit. All that. That is the how does one pronounce that? There is. We're gonna so Kongu. That's not right. That's not even funny. So he has 2 copies of that, and then he has 2 copies of the power to connect realms, being his rare foundation. So the idea is that's the only shiny cards for the character pack, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to boot up our handy dandy greatest site ever. We're going to pull up universes.cards. Pull this up there now. Pull that over there. Obviously, as you can see right now, Turtles is the next thing. I'm going to move myself, though, just over a smidgen. That one. I'm going to move myself over about here. I think that's going to be about right. Maybe even up here. No, do you know what? I think about here's going to be fine. Here'll be about fine. So, obviously, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff, I'm going to probably say it will not make the cut for Spain, simply due to the fact that I won't have any cards basically going into Spain, essentially, for Turtles. Obviously, this week we get hit with the bad news that the pre-release and the general release has been delayed. So, questionable scenarios at foot, because obviously we don't know. We're pretty sure we're going to get the release stuff, everything next week, but obviously the weekend after that is Spain. I don't think there's enough momentum, to be honest. I think you might see somebody playing Turtles just because it's a fun, cool set. I don't see anything in Turtles fully moving the needle because I genuinely don't think people have enough practice time, and getting access to the cards a week prior can also be a complete nightmare. So I just don't see that coming into play, and I can't really see me wanting to put it into it, especially as well because we're playing retro. Unless we very specifically pick the symbol currently, attune cards, you have to just play this symbol. Now, 90% of the time, that's just what you do anyway. Nobody really splashes. That's something I always try to explain with retro a lot. Nobody ever splashes cards anyway. So we'll call this new one, we'll call this Akuma Retro Spain, right? Akuma Retro Spain. So let's lock in Akuma and get him pulled up first, right? So we're going to have one version of him added in. We then want to pull that away, and I think I'm sitting in the right spot. That's fine. And then obviously, let's scroll down. We're going to go quickly down to Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers. What a hell of a set! This set was so busted. In fact, do you know the best way to explain how busted this set was? Right. See if I just lock in characters. I can't remember this. So this will find it. Characters for this set. This was all the characters here, right? What's that, like 10 characters? 2 of them were box toppers, right? Akuma was busted, probably skirted so finely to getting banned. 100%. Chun-Li, super, super fair, could do a crazy amount of work, was in a bubble in a window of time when literally everyone else in this set was so busted that I feel as if she kind of didn't get a lot of time to shine. Gil did get banned because he was actually broken. He was fun, but I can admit he was broken. Jeddah got banned for being able to debuild people to the sun, and obviously just yep is what it is. So you get two of the 10 so far banned. Again, Akuma really skirted on the should have been banned. Ken should have been banned. Ken was like the absolute highlight of what an aggro deck should be, but does it so bloody consistently that like half the time you're just scooping somebody turn 2. He should have been banned. Lilith is a absolute sleeper of a character. In Scotland, not a sleeper of a character. Fucking hated Lilith. Horrendous. Because you could play pauper versions of Lilith and it was busted. Murray made a bunch of budget decks for it. And they worked as well, like they actively worked. You played it with all of the shiny cards, it became disgusting. Super, super strong character. Again, just in a bubble where so much stuff was just perceivedly broken that it meant she didn't look as broken. Honestly, definitely broken. Lord Raptor banned. It turns out Flash was far too heavily powerful in the world. We had Steve, who was like a new player and ended up having like one of the best records in a nationals and stuff like that, and he just picked up Raptor. Morrigan's a fun character, but just again was in a bubble where if you were fun and fine, you didn't exist. And Donovan actually had the world of being pretty busted. Elena, I think, actually saw a lot of play in America at least. I don't know enough to justify being banned, but I don't think either of them had enough support by themselves being box toppers. But yeah, 4 of the 8 got banned. Or like should have, like Gil, Jada, and Raptor. 3 of the 8, I should say, got banned, with 2 of them definitely skirting on bans. It's mental. So let's look up what we need. So for Akuma, we need to put in 2 copies of that and 2 copies of his the power to connect. So the thing with Akuma, right, is he just reading Reese's comment. The thing with Akuma that's really fun, right, was he does a lot. He just naturally does a lot, right? So you flip 1 card in your card pool. After your opponent makes a check to play a non-foundation card, it gets -2. Failing the check doesn't end the combat phase. So the cool thing there was you could play cards into pool and then hack their check. Hey Thomas, hack their check going forward. The fact is that's not even a once per turn. So the more cards you play into the pool, as in blocks, as in just general attacks and stuff, you now have full control of doing stuff like that if they play a non-foundation card. Then his enhance is fucking crazy. There's just a bunch of them shouting out there. His attack then also has an enhance, so his enhance, your attack, add the top card of your deck to the card pool face up or face down. So again, you could add it face up, knowing that you're going to want to then use the response flip, or you can just add it face down, because your attack gets +1 damage for each face down card in your card pool, and you also get stun 1 just for free. So you add a card to the pool. Now, you might be like, well, you're adding to progressive. Things like Rocksteady, things like Bebop are doing that right now, and they kind of get suffering effects from it. All of Akuma's attacks do not count face downs towards progressive. Face down cards do not count towards progressive. Difficult to play this card. Every single attack he has, all 4 of them, all have that. So the obvious scenario there is you get to add for extra damage, get stun 1, push button, continue. You go to your next attack, you're now able to flip the previous attack to counter their blocks potentially, because they play a non-foundation. That's only if they play a non-foundation, obviously, but if they do play foundations, you're kind of locked to an extent. But the world there means that it's always available at a later date as you string quite aggressively with this guy, because his all attacks are 5 diffs. Now, one of them we're allowed to play, obviously the Congo, we can play. We have 2 copies of it. I would love to say we could get to play his series. What is this, Sekirai? I think it would be amazing to be able to play this. His Ultra Rare was awesome. I loved it. It was a 2-check though. I loved it. And this one was cool because it has card pool, remove 1 face down from your card pool. After your opponent plays a non-character enhanced, cancel it. This gave you Revoke on a stick, which was great. Having Revoke on a stick was crazy good, super strong, the best thing ever. But you had to suffer a 2-check potentially. A lot of people didn't like the 2-check. And then the ones that did like the 2-check, i.e. me, I loved playing this. It then became one of those, you would be removing something that is essentially damage on board to cancel stuff. I found though, being able to abuse the cancel scenario meant that most of my attacks were getting through anyway, even with the damage being slightly less. And you could add to it as well. So I like this. It can't go in this deck sadly because we're not allowed to play it, because we only have 2 copies of the Congo going in. But the Congo is a reversal, which is also cool. And it's got, again, face down cards don't count. Great. You may remove face down cards in your card pool in addition to discard momentum to pay for this card's powerful cost. So, what you essentially did with this guy is you played out a big long string. You add 1 card every single time to progressive, but not progressive. So say you play 4 attacks and then you come in with this one in the 5th attack, right? You've now added 5 cards to the pool. Every attack's getting +5 damage. And that scenario, the last one's getting +5 damage. And then everything's had stun 1, so you're progressively stunning your opponent out. And then this guy says, cool, all of those face downs you can clear from the pool to powerful 2. So, if you had momentum, great, use it, whatever. But if you didn't, you had powerful on board. Like, it was a crazy card. The cool thing with this as well is you could then do set reversals with some of these attacks, setting up having more face downs in the pool, block the next thing, then hit them with this, and it's 5 speed. It's not even slow. 2 seconds, just got to answer something. And we're back, sorry about that. So the cool thing with this was it gave you like super versatility. It was great as just a general attack, going into the pool, swinging like crazy, but it was also a crazy good reversal for Akuma. I think other people kinda didn't really get any real play out of it. Maybe like Amina could get play out of it now, but realistically, yeah, it was kind of one of those scenarios. His 2 attacks that will be playing is obviously just the 5 high for 5. It's got EX3 and powerful 3, which is great. So it gave you a really good onboard card to be like, here, I can do everything I need to do with this. Do you need the speed to hit with momentum, or do you need the extra damage in? Again, 5 speed is crazy. That's such a statted card. And again, face downs don't count. So we're just going to add the 4 of them because they're in this set. So like for instance, the cards that easily get added would be the 4 of them, and then obviously the 4 Dostes or whatever they are. What's that? Dosashu Shoten. Go for that. 4 of them. We add them in. The cool thing with Shoten though, enhance, add the top card of your deck to your card pool face down. This attack is +2 speed and +2 damage. So the cool thing with this is you go with Doha Shoten, you go, cool, I'm playing the card. I'm then going to add a card into the pool for +2 speed and +2 damage, now making it a 5 mid 7. And then you go, cool, I now Akuma, add another one in, and now you're getting 2 more damage, so it's now 5 mid 9, and you get an iteration of stun 1. Powerful stuff. It was crazy. The setups this guy. One of the cards we will not get to use, but was incredibly busted, was Administration Time. We will not get to see it in this deck because it is a rare. It is expensive as hell. I have 4. I will not be giving away any because I just struggled. I actually struggled to happen to even have 4. So we can't do it. So cards we need to care about for this guy. This great scenario would be actually that there's some Mina cards that could see play, which would be great, especially ones that are commons and uncommons, because that's what we're looking at. And on top of that, what we're looking for right now is, honestly, especially on Evil, I think like on Evil, maybe on Void could be a cool symbol, would be, can we play cards into pool such as let me see if this counts. Does Barrier Shield, is it an uncommon? It is an uncommon. It's on it's on all of his symbols, isn't it? What is it? Oh, it's not on order though. Barrier Shield goes in hard. Oh, we've got to play Barrier Shield in this. Card doesn't count towards progressive. Amazing. You reduce the attack speed to 0. Next card you play gains Breaker 2. Bear in mind this removes to do that, right? But then you can also, your rival can't add tap cards to their hand during the attack due to non-character effects. That's also, there's some usability of this. So the idea here, right, would be you go Barrier Shield, set it to 0. Next card gets Breaker 2. You hit the next thing they do with the Breaker 2 on play, but you can then also respond with Akuma. I'm just going to put 4 in there now. You can then also respond with Akuma after your opponent makes a check to play a non-foundation card. You can then flip the card that. Oh, how does that even work? So you hit them with the Breaker 2. So the Breaker 2 is in play. Yeah, so then they go to make a check on a -2 on the check, where you could then flip the card that you played as the block to have an additional -2. So you could be hitting them with a Breaker 4. That's a lockout card. That's fun. So they play an. Basically, if they attempt to play an attack through you, you just say no. You barrier shield them for days. Oh, that's spicy, and it's an uncommon. That's amazing. That's basically our action, if I'm being honest. That's our action. I think we lock on evil. I think we lock on evil right now, and we see what we can come up with, especially for attacks, because the thing with it as well, even like low based attacks that we can add a card to, like I wish Mina, I wonder what symbols Mina was on. Can we even look that up, Mina, and figure out what symbols she was on? Because if she's got void, which she does there, so maybe it's a playable scenario, because yeah, because that's the one that removes face down. So maybe on void might be the best shout, because we can do it. Because none of her other symbols, does she even care? Does this one even care? I think it was the last two. Ah, it was this one that cared for it. Ah, see, these symbols are not good. This one does care about it. So I'm going to say maybe void might be the best shout, because we might just find the Mina stuff. So let's stay with void. Let's stay with void. I think that's the best case scenario. Oh, well, I need to respond to this. I was because we initially had another plan for today, but Reese got busy with the Bake Off with the UK versus, so I decided to change up plans. I was going to do this anyway, but I was going to do something else on top of it. Um, so we'll figure this out. So right, basically, right, yeah, we're looking at Void. We're looking at Void. We want to lock in common, uncommon, and that's it. That's all we're allowed. And we're going to quickly look at the actions, just in case I've missed any. That oh yeah, one minute. Reset because I've got a set there. So let's look at the actions on Void. Is there any other quickly that really pop up and be like, here we could play them? Because obviously Barrier Shield, great. We've got 4 of them in. But we don't really want to go too heavy on actions unless they're doing something crazy. Do you know, honestly, there is a world where Maximum Harden is not a bad shout. Maximum Harden, put that in the maybe board, right? I'll tell you why, right? Because Maximum Harden says, for the rest of your turn, your attacks get +2 damage. You can then flip Maximum Harden if they play a non-foundation card. After you block an attack with this card, that attack gets -4 damage. You may commit 1 foundation to build this card face down. I think that's got usability, to be honest. I think those two right now, usability. Sealing a rival asset, a foundation could be great, and it has Breaker 1 could be great with a race. But if I'm being honest with you, do we get access to? I don't think we do, yeah, because we're already hitting Legacy there. I was going to say, do we get access to Revoke? But I don't know if Revoke was an uncommon or a common, to be fair. You could potentially spell circle somebody. That would be always quite funny. I do always like a spell circle, but I'll be honest with you. No, we're going to just pretend that doesn't exist now. I think we lock in a couple of them. Take it off the maybe board. We lock in at least a couple. I think honestly Barrier Shield's definitely the right way forward in general, because it just looks too good to miss out on. But maybe you could go 2 and 2 or 3 and 2, for instance, could be a good shout. So let's look up assets. Is there any good assets on the beautiful symbol of Void that would immediately jump out and be like, hey, we need these, or this could be usable? Obviously, I think VME, is that even banned in Retro? I would need to look that up. I think it kind of isn't. I don't know. I think everything. Oh, sorry. I think it is. I think anything typically it seems to get banned in standard. They just say it's banned in all formats, to be honest. So I'm going to assume it's banned as such. Just going to say that then, in case somebody's like tells me later. After you play a weapon attack against stun 1, chuck 1 of them in just for a bit of the bounce. It gives us a 6 check. It's not crazy. Checking 4s for an extra speed could be fun on a 0 diff. But not necessarily needed. As I say, once we start hitting this generation of cards, obviously we are going into alpha territory, so we can't touch it. So I think, yeah, nothing had to really jump out of us. To be honest with you, I probably wasn't going to play any assets anyway. They'll probably not make the cut. But then we have to have a proper look at attacks now, because when it comes to attacks, right, I'm going to scroll for a little second just to see what we find with things like Mina cards in general. Because I don't know if she got access to it, and did she get it? And that Mina, I didn't think she did. Yeah, I was going to say, like, what did that Mina get? Did she get any attacks at all? Oh, hot damn. No, I don't think she does. I think she was just. Oh no, there she does. There we go. Flip 1 foundation, gets plus what? +2 that. Oh, well, here we go. This actually is useful to an extent on attack runs. So you flip a foundation, gets 2 damage. So it's now 3 high 6. After it resolves, flip it. So flipping it actually could be usable. And then it's got a 5 mid 5, which isn't of any help to us, sadly. But I honestly think there's a world where we can play that. Actually, cards in general that flip themselves, especially things like Echo, could be great. Do we get Trace Eyes? What's Trace Eyes is Yu Yu Hakusho. Do we get Trace Eyes? That would be great to have, but I don't think we do. What symbols is that even on? I mean, because we've literally passed Yu Yu stuff for Trace Eyes anyway. Does he get anything great? That's the thing. Anything with Echo would be great. That's actually a genuine noticeable thing. Like anything with Echo would be beautiful. then just in general, some stuff that does things, and like, let's see, what's this one? If it's not completely blocked, it doesn't clear from the card pool during your end phase. Here, actually, red counter. Red counter. Oh no. Red counter's a really good card. So, like, here's the thing with red counter, right? You go, if it's not completely blocked, it doesn't clear from the card pool during the end phase, right? The idea there would be you have a card that's ready to be flipped to counter the first thing they play. And it's a 5 high 5. Like, it is spicy, right? We're going to add that in now because I love that so much. And it's uncommon. Spicy. Spicy. Oh, do you know what it is as well? Tray sizes are rare. What am I talking about? We are thick as mints. It's been a long day, folks. Yeah, tray size probably is on that symbol, but it is a spicy, hot, accessible card. Again, I'm not going to look at turtle stuff as much as I want to. I just won't have access to it for this. And also, by the time I finish this deck, I would like to be able to build it tomorrow, to be honest. Because ideally, I want at least 10 of these decks made during the course of this week and predominantly next week. I'm working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday's going to be a hefty day where we stream. It might be just super card game related. So we just need something and anything. I would love to see cards that had Echo, to be honest. Echo would be beautiful right now, but I am not seeing it because I think a lot of them are on the spicy, spicy, rare and above cards, to be honest, which is rubbish. I wonder. Let's see what we could do. Let's see what we can do. We added that already because I think the Acid Man is actually a really fun card. Given the extra damage, we're going to give it more damage from Thingamabobber. And then, yeah, it's not bad. Spend the momentum after this attack's blocked. Survive discards. Nah, we don't need that. If the card preceding this... Oh, here we go. If this attack is preceded, right, so the card before it, by a ranged or a face down card, clear it from the card pool after it resolves. We don't necessarily want to be clearing, but then also we don't mind it clearing for the sake of us just playing another card in, like one of actually his actual cards. So maybe it's got play. Maybe it does in fact have play to it. If a card's left to card pool, this gets +1/+1. But again, we don't want some of these 3 diffs. We want to justify being able to play without it costing us our entire life. Add a foundation rear stage to your card pool face down. This gets 3 damage, and if the attack deals damage, face down cards don't count towards progressive to play for the next. Oh wow, why are we? Oh my god. Oh my god. We just play Hardware Hurl. Hardware Hurl, add a card from your stage to the card pool face down, right? So you get that extra card down, right? And you get 3 damage. So you're now 1 high. Is this a thrower it, or is it just a spicy weapon? So it's a 1 high, right? But again, you could play this end scenario or starting, force the scenario of here's heavy damage. What's it? So it's what? Let's see what it says. See if he wants to join or not. Yeah, let's get Reese. Right, here we go. Let's get into this call. There, Reese will join at some point. Cool. He'll be in this end. Then we'll continue this. I think Hardware Hurl is actually a beautiful card for this because you go 1 high 5, you go add a card up, you go now it's 1 high 8, you then go at least bare minimum a Kuma, right? 1 high 10, no, 1 high 9. 1 high 9 immediately becomes a problematic card they have to just in general deal with. If there's a way we could give that throw, great. But also, if this attack deals damage, face down cards don't count towards progressive difficulty for the next card you try to play. That's going to help us with all the non-Akuma cards. Now, Reese is in the call, I think.
Hello.
There he is. Right. I'm going to share my screen here as well. Shouldn't overload my computer too much so you can see it. So you're not on a delay watching what I'm doing on stream. Or as much of a delay, I should say. That one. Right. So we are currently building a retro deck for Akuma. Right?
Oh.
So you best be pulling up your own deck builder as well if you want to scroll about and stuff and make suggestions. But I'll show you what we're roughly at now, right? So the constraints to the deck, right, is as I'm going to show on stream now, right? I have character bundles. Reese knows is a retro aficionado that pushes it and stuff like that. So like I always try to make prizes and stuff for people. So one of the things I didn't get to do at Chelmsford, but we have existing and built, is I have these character bundles that I have about 20 currently made. So the character bundle gives you the character, it gives you two of the rare attack, two of the rare foundation, and then a playset of two of their common slash uncommon attacks and foundations. Right? That's the character bundles, right? Right, you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with
Cool. Right. So those cards have to be in the deck. I've already pre-existently added them into this Akuma deck. But I'm looking at how can we make Akuma also no rares, no ultra rares, no promos or anything like that. It's just uncommon and commons after this point. That's what we've got. Ideally looking for
you.
a 60 card deck as such. That's what we're roughly after. And yeah, we're having a look. I honestly think I've basically got the attack package like locked the fuck in. This deck looks fucking disgusting immediately. Right, these attacks, we're going to have to go quickly through the rest of the attacks where we're at, just to see if there's anything spicy. So Akuma cares for cards being face down in card pool, so we get effect. So like that's essentially what we're looking at right now. And we've found a couple. We have found a couple. But we're looking for other stuff. Again, common and uncommons is all he can play.
Oh, Amazon yes.
Amazon? No, that'll be Murray. Him and Scott are playing a game they They use his that. They've got one account for it. Yeah. Emma might be playing though. Spain is coming up soon, so potentially Emma could be playing. That is
I want to put some more games in.
that could be the case. But considering I see Murray and Scott in the call, I'm going to assume it's Murray. Because they're using my podcast room. So, now let's get diving back in. So yeah, we're looking for cards that care about the face down of things and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to think what else. I'm trying to think if there's any other attacks immediately jumping out at me, being like, why are we not playing this? And I think honestly, we hit such great cards so fast on, where I'm like, yeah, damn. I think honestly, I want to scroll back further because I feel as if there has to be more stuff, especially in the retro window, the full retro window. There has to be more stuff. But honestly, no. Like, nope. I'm like I actually can't believe how fast we hit a scenario. I'm just like, this is fine. This is an easy attack package. And it's all quite cool as well because actually when I look at it, it's like it's like new retro like as well. So like a lot of these players will see these cards and be like, oh, I know what this is, or I've seen this card because it's not that old either.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It means it's not as daunting on a player. Like the last thing I want to do is be like, you better enjoy reading the shit out of the full 60 cards. I don't really want to do that to somebody. Especially with these as well, because they're like these kind of character bundles are just like fun wee things, but I'm just going to expand and make I'm going to make at least 10 decks for going to Spain. That is going to be the plan. At least 10 will be the kind of the scenario. What does this one say? Add one card from your hand. Just no, it's alright. The old Akuma sucks though. We can't look at old Akuma. He's tragic. But
I hope you make some bebop ones for Glasgow.
I'll tell you if bebop is in this. When you say bebop, you mean in street, like what bebop has in Turtles
Cowboy
or
bebop.
Cowboy Bebop? Right, I'll tell you if there's any bebop here. Prepare to be disappointed because I'm pretty sure it was mostly SoulCal.
Oh no!
Yeah, I think we were on SoulCal. Seventh
Well,
cross.
I'm yet to build Vicious or Jet.
What have you not built?
I want to build Vicious or Jet.
Oh, I know why they. I think actually they were a previous rewards and stuff I did. I think I had them for like a previous regional.
Oh,
Because I do
right.
remember giving away vicious stuff at one point. Yeah, see if you missed that window. We're on the window of Soul Calder now, apparently. When I was building these characters. But there is some other ones, it's like Mortal Kombat as well, to be fair. Mortal Kombat mostly. I think there was other ones to build, but they were the ones that were fully locked in. Right, I'm gonna go back to the
Mhm.
deck. We're gonna quickly look at these attacks. 26. I want this down to 22. So ideally we only have to cut 4 cards and I'll be super happy. And to be quite honest with you, I honestly think it's just going to be the sniper combo. And I don't even know. I don't. Oh, is it even the? Is it even? Yeah, I think it might have to be.
Mhm.
So here's the thing, right? So do you know how Akuma works?
Not off the top of my head.
Right. Okay. So here's how Akuma works, right? This guy should have been fucking banned decades ago, right? So he's got a response, right? Ready for this, right? Hold your breath. Response: flip 1 card in your card pool for cost. After your opponent makes a check to play a non-foundation card, it gets -2. Failing this check will not end the combat phase.
Oh,
It's non-foundation card, which means you could flip this to hack their check when they blocked, if they blocked with a non-foundation card. If they go to play,
oh,
you get the interaction phase of -2 into their check as long as you've got a card flippable in pool that's obviously face up. You can flip it for -2 if they play anything but a foundation.
I
Brilliant
see.
stuff, right? Here's the other cool thing. His attacks, right? So your attacks, add the top card of your deck to the card pool face up or face down. Your attack gets +1 damage for each face down card in your card pool and stun 1.
I see.
Right? Now, Akuma had this kind of fun thing we were saying at the start of the stream. Akuma has 4 attacks. 2 of them obviously were able to play the full playset because they're the uncommon and commons, and then we get 2 of these reversal, but we don't get his ultra rare. All of his cards literally have the static text: face down cards do not count towards progressive difficulty to play this card. His entire attack package has that. They're all 5 diffs, but none of the face downs count. And every one of them is then getting additional damage for every face down you put in. So every attack, you're getting an additional damage, and you're getting stun 1 for free.
Sure.
So yeah, it's busted. So what we're having to look at right now is there cards I can play outside of his window and how outside of his themes cards that still work. So right now I'm looking at Acid Man, because Acid Man says you flip a foundation to get +2 damage, so you make it 3 high for 6. Akuma then says add a card to the pool. You now make it 3 high for 7, and after it resolves, you just flip it, which means your next attack is now cracking in with like what +3 damage now, because you've now got because you've now got 2 in pool that are flipped already. So the next one
Yeah.
coming in is now going to be getting 3 damage when you add that next one, and you've had 2 iterations of stun. I think that's fun.
That's
Oh god damn it, Nate! I knew this was going to be the. I knew it. I knew we had to hide. Right, we're on stream right now, building
sorry.
an Akuma deck. You are more than welcome to join though.
I'm assuming retro with Akuma. I
Yeah,
watched him
so
randomly announce the Akuma for Street Fighter 6.
no, I wish they did. Right, so here's the only caveat though. Right, this is the only thing. It can only be common and uncommon cards in it though. So it's a pauper deck,
Alright.
right? So right now, The only two rares he's allowed is the Congo. I've gave them 2 copies of, and the Power of the Connecting Realms. I've gave 2 copies because these are like retro packs I was going to hand out at some of the regionals. So I'm now fleshing them out as a full deck. So the attacks we're on currently, I'm running currently 4 copies of Acid Man. I think I love that. I just explained this one to Reese. I think I love that. I think I'm honestly
I
just
would
going to take
agree.
Sniper's combo out. Because it's basically right. So if it's preceded by a ranged attack, which is actually most of the cards, or a face down, which more than likely it will be, it clears from the card pool after it resolves. I'd rather it just not. I'd rather just have things that either flip or we get like the best of both worlds of being able to like do stuff with it and flip it to hack their check.
I agree. Yeah.
So I think I'm taking it out.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think having more face down cards in your card pool is better than just clearing stuff.
Yeah, that is what I'm thinking of. So then we've got the 2 Congo. We've got then his playset of the other, like the Devil Slayer and the Shoten. We've got the full playsets of them because that's his cards. Then, so we're at 22, right? Because the other 2 cards I've got right now, I think Hardware Hurl might be the funniest card I've ever thought about for a retro deck. So this is a 5 diff 1 high for 5, right? That says add 1 foundation from your stage to your card pool face down. We love it for cost. This attack gets 3 damage. If it deals damage, face down cards don't count towards progressive difficulty for the next card you try to play. Right? So you go, it's 1 high for 5. You add a card to the pool, it's now 1 high for 8. You now then go, I'm then going to Akuma, add a card to the pool. Now say it's 1 high 10 and stun 1. I'm forcing you to now block this. Like, I love that. I also love the fact that you could abort this attack just to annoy your opponent if the condition's right. So they could go to block and you could just flip the card and abort the attack and hack their check, and then they go, well, the check fails. But they've threw away a non-foundation card potentially to do it. And you flipped, so now you're 3 cards in pool. This could be that might be the coolest card ever for the most random of retro decks ever. The only other card currently in the attack lineup, which I think is just perfect, is Red Counter. Obviously, again, they're 5 diff, 5 high, 5. Enhance, if this attack is not completely blocked, it does not clear from your card pool during the end phase, which now just gives you an on-stick hack 2 going into their turn.
To Pinpoint Focus, Black Whip Shot. It's the 4 difficulty, 2 high for 5. Response after it's blocked. Your rival adds 1 card from their hand to their card pool face down and draws 1 card. Flip this tack after it resolves.
What's it called, sorry?
It's a Pinpoint Focus Black Whip Shot. It's a Midoriya card.
Oh, yeah, it's on Void. Yeah, also, I should also state we're playing on Void. If that didn't, right, so after this is blocked, your rival adds 1 random card from the hand to the card face down and draws. And then you flip it after. Oh, that could actually, That, right, we're putting 4 in there now, and we're going to make some cuts.
I like that attack because it forces them into a catch-22 position, right? Like, they've either got to just take it on the chin for whatever damage it's worth, or the fact that, like, it's just, if it's blocked, it doesn't matter if it's half blocked or, full block, it's just blocked.
It's just blocked. I do like that.
Yeah.
And
it also fits with your common theme as well, so...
Yep, solid card. Absolute solid card. I put it in as a 3 of, and what I've done is I've taken 1 red counter and 1 hardware off, because I think that's actually a nice balance. That puts us to 23. I don't hate 23 attacks, to be honest. There's a world where maybe we drop an... I want to say we maybe drop an acid. I like 22, personally, out of a 60 card deck. But 23 I could live with. As for actions, Barrier Shield is like the funniest thing ever. That's staying as a 4 of because it's disgusting. Like, reduce the attack speed to 0. Next thing you play gets Breaker 2. And we're then going to then flip if they try to play another attack or something else that's not a foundation for essentially Breaker 4. Akuma should not have access to that. Yeah, there's
Random question time. What do face down cards in your card pool count as? Like, are they just face down cards?
They
So they're
are
not
just,
foundations, attacks, etc.
I believe they're just face downs. Yeah, because they get added. Most of them get added from the top of the deck. Yeah, so they'll come
I was
in.
hop-
What were
yeah, I
you
was hoping
thinking?
it was a face down foundation for cat scratch. Like for
Okay,
the
yeah, fair. That's no. Do you know what? Fair play though. I've also rocked in with 2 copies of Maximum Hardening because you get to go form. For the rest of your turn, your attacks get 2 damage, and now you have something that's flippable on like on defense basically. I think there's a world where that's great. Like everyone's getting 2 damage straight face, and then cool. I'm going to flip this, and now everything's getting an additional 1 damage from then on out. I think I'm going to cut the assets. I don't like the assets at all. I wanted to like them, but I don't even know. Do we play enough weapons to justify it? 1, nah, 2, but I think it's got to go. I wanted it. I wanted Kian in so much, but it doesn't do it. Or not enough.
You're running the other Akuma attack, the command that adds a card to the card pool face down for 2/2. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
for
you
two,
are
two,
shit.
yeah, running that. Yeah, that's one of the full play sets because that's his uncommon common package. The same when I go to the
Yeah,
foundations, the uncommon and commons for Akuma have to be in the deck. Because they're
yeah.
part.
I'm trying to
Because they're
stick to the common or uncommon slots that you're on about.
yeah. So I like this. So we're currently at 31, right? So ideally we're looking for like 29 foundations basically that are going to help us. So if we pull this and this up, get foundations in. I'm actually just going to quickly scroll to his own ones just to get them dropped in. So we've got them. So we're going to have. We could obviously tweak a bit with this because I think did I put all of them in? I don't think I did. So we've definitely got to play 4 copies of World Without Battle, which I think is great. I love that anyway. And then I think we're running Enlightened by Defeat. Yeah, we are. Aye. So the one we missed out on not putting in because it didn't work with these 20 card bundles that I was making was we didn't put in Drained by a Kiss basically. There is a world where honestly we could just put it in though. Because flip after an attack resolves, flip it is super great defense. Like you counter every echo. You counter every echo card that gets played. Any card that wants to replay itself. Yeah, I think we might actually have to just put a couple of them in anyway. Enlightened by Defeat is great because we're just going to commit for +1/+1 for each face down. Like, why not? There's no downside to that, the way we're playing this deck. Or flipping it to force them to commit foundations for failing checks. Like, just punish them for being bad. World Without Battle, we're just flipping. So if it's got a keyword, we get +2 speed or -3 speed. I think that applies to like every single card in our deck, basically. Pretty sure because it's just any keyword. So yeah, I think we're good. Keyword ability into it. So let's see. So it doesn't work on those 2, but that's got powerful. That's got EX. That's got powerful. That's got EX. So it doesn't work on 3 of them. But to be quite fair, I feel as if like it works on the majority. So I think we're fine there. I'm fine with that. 2 copies of the Power to Connect Realms because that's part of the That's part of the conditioning. But also this one's great because you just get a enhance, add this card to the card pool face up or face down. You just add it face down or face up and then flip it. But remove after a powerful attack is played. Draw 1 card. Your opponent discards 1 card. Oh, that's the remove one. And it's also good to play because its face downs don't count for that one as well. Right. So what we're right now looking for would be we definitely need more 1 diffs and a couple of 0 diffs. I think I already know what 0 diff I'm looking for. fact, is it? In fact, no. Wait, hold the bus. Is it actually a common or an uncommon? Actually, oh no. Hold on. Zero diffs that were uncommon and commons. Oh, Voice of Reason was. Oh, let's go. Why was that a common? Nathan, why was that a common? Voice of Reason's a common.
Yu Yu Hakusho set had a lot of great cards that went.
Yeah, what a beautiful card.
Right then.
Well, we get four of them for sure.
I mean, Easily Excited's right there as well. That's another great zero diff, and that's a common or uncommon, right?
Yeah, that is a. Oh my god! Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we got it. How crazy is it? We might end up with like a bunch of zero diffs. Because I was actually thinking, Profane Sanctuary is actually a really good shout.
Good zero diffs right there on the screen. Like almost all of them are playable.
I know, that's actually so scary. Oh my god, yeah, we've got to take Unite. Oh my god, are we just going to have zero diffs in this? This might just be an all zero diff deck. Because here's the thing, right? They're not even unplayable, right? Because Profane's great, right? Once per turn, discard top 2 cards of both players' decks. It just counters every stack deck. Because half them, like your Rodans and stuff, are checking the next 2 cards for the most part. And then you're going, cool, back to random, let's go. Like, you get your, like, Catman Byakko's stack in the deck for 1. You go, cool, back to, like, that's awesome. It flips to also counter Breaker. Yeah. Yeah, that just has to go in. That's crazy. That's crazy how good that is. Uniting Rebels might be the one that like we could potentially cut. Like I'm putting it in the now, but it could potentially get cut. But I do like the idea of like anytime you get to desperation, you just start gaining health. And let's see a 27 healther, so like yeah, like you're getting down to like 13 health, and then you just start like gaining to 13 and just staying there.
God, I wish we could run the Man Behind the Mask.
Oh,
Shame it's Legacy.
Is it Legacy though?
Yeah, it was just on the screen a second ago. It was a Tekken card. It's Kings.
Oh, the King one. What's this
Yeah,
one?
it's the very very bottom one on the
Plus one or
left.
minus one. That. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would be funny. It was a common as well.
Yeah.
I'd love to at some point make a legacy deck though. I've said to Alexander a good few times like I'd love to like go through a scenario where like people who played Legacy just teach me the way of Legacy just for the banter of it. Because that's broken. Like
Look at the Dan card, 2 cards across.
which one? The Dan one.
The Dan
so
card,
hands,
yeah.
commit. Discard 2 cards. Your opponent reveals their hand. Choose 1 card in their hand and they discard it. That's brutal. That's disgusting.
You can do that on their turn as well.
I was
so
just
they
about
go
to
attack
say,
you and you're
yeah.
just like, yeah, I'll just ditch the best card from your hand.
And it's not unique, right? So you could have 3 of them in play, be a 6-hander, and then like discard 3 of their attacks like from their hand.
All on a zero diff.
All on a 0 diff, yeah. Yeah, because think, yeah. You know what? See, sometimes when I see the current company being like, yeah, we kind of want to get rid of 0 diffs. See, looking at this page of common and uncommons, I'm starting to maybe agree with them a small bit. Like, because even all the way up to Easy Excited, right? I mean, saving Bakugo legitimately isn't terrible. Obviously,
Situationally good. It depends on the meta it's in.
Yeah, keeping Eri safe actually could generally go in this deck, to be honest, just to counter the.
Also, a really good. Yeah, it's a really good card into stun formats.
That's what
like,
I'm
saving
thinking.
Bakugo goes great into stuff like Byakko as well. Like if Byakko is very popular, saving Bakugo is amazing into him.
Yeah. Like Reluctance also not bad. Listen, Tenacious Flip -1 damage. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The Space Terrors does.
It's a good card.
The Space Terrors just it's a flip for +1 damage. We can't talk about Crawl to the Wall because that card's just inherently dog shit, right? But like, because the 4-check just ruins that card immediately. Because literally things like Space Terror
there's a card
just
next to it. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that's generally the thing.
It's
Space Terror, it's the same card, but just better. Right, out of curiosity, did we just like complete this deck? It's a 63 card deck, and we we do have 1 and 2 diffs in the deck and a 3 diff, right? We actually do. And I don't hate. How bad is it that I don't hate that? We have.
Let's have a look at the one diffs.
Yeah, we
See
definitely
what.
have to. Yeah, because I still think like, what's out of curiosity, what is the block zones like? Oh yeah, we maybe need if we get hit with a low Zilla, we're getting smacked silly. So yeah,
Let's
we
got some
maybe
mids for some
so
lows.
cut some mids for lows is definitely something we're looking at. So let's pull up the one diffs then. Let's see what we can get. At this point
Yeah.
now, ideally we're not looking at turtles also only because I'll not have access to it before Spain. Because these will be decks I'm building to take to Spain to hand out to people as well. To get people into the world of retro. So like, I hate it because treasure hunting's fun as hell. I love treasure hunting so much.
I think the card's great,
yeah, it's just form draw. I love it.
but it's on a high block.
But yeah, high block
And
kills it. I kind of want to like just push the button and just put like low block in just to see what comes up, just so that like, because I feel as if now I'm starting to look at like everything else and I'm starting to get upset because like they're not on lows and we need to like find the lows. Yeah, let's do it. Block zone being lows. Let's lock it in. Oh,
that's
we
a
get
thought for
incubate.
yeah, incubate's a good shout.
Oh yeah,
Battle for Dominance is great, but it's a Zilla card, isn't it? So it's a
yeah.
bit hard to get hold of.
Well, I would be able to. I would be able to because I have a foil set of almost every Zilla card, so like I would have 4 to give away. So it could go in to be fair. Because what is it?
Card,
Just
but
because
it's
it's
more
flip, remove.
defensive.
I remove a card in your card pool if you did draw a card.
Yeah, so it
It
basically just
could
gives
go
you
in.
a block -1 effectively.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's a world where it could go in. Will it make the full cut? Maybe not, but like it's up there. Let's try to see what else there
Only
is.
Passionate Guy, that's a staple.
Oh yeah. We're in retro land. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely manly Passionate Guy, great card.
That is true. What else do we? Red Rat's the coolest. It could be quite fun as well, actually, because it's got a damage on a playable committed. But I think we've got enough damage, so maybe we don't need to.
I just wish there was a world where you could play the hardened cards to give it damage on the
Aye, on the deadlock.
deadlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying that though, we do run red counter. We do run red counter. So like deadlock could actually. I'm going to put it in there now. It might not make the cut, but like the background scenario of that could actually come into play. Could be quite funny. Let's see. We do get Feifei. That's just a super easy minus speed.
Also a good card.
If we batter them enough, though, right? So here would be the question, right? Do you take Feifei over potentially Conquest of Terror if you can batter them to desperation, then -4 speed on a commit, with the ability to possibly have the +2 speed going into turns, or just flip for -2?
I'll just have the flip for -3 speed.
-3, yeah. I was trying to sell it there, but it really wasn't happening to myself either.
If you're gonna leave your opponent in desperation, they're probably going to kill you.
Yeah. It's more like if they get so like you could bear in mind like it's also got a -2 just on flip. Obviously Feifei's -3, but I like the idea of like long term play. You could then get +2 speed on a commit if it's played late. But then defense wise, I think Feifei just wins that fight. I don't know if there's two. I'm going to look at 2 diffs now just for a bit of banter. Just to see if something, especially on lows as well, just does anything jump out at all. I don't think there necessarily will be. Well, maybe Protective Friends. Add this card to your card pool face down for -5 speed.
But you can situationally use it for extra damage, I guess, as well, if your opponent doesn't have like the right block.
Right. Yeah, I think that can go in for sure. Oh man, what else can we get? Uh, I feel like everything else is like so subjective, and then we hit
Maybe the Akuma card on the far right on the road that you just passed.
the
You lose
Shingoku
1 vitality for +1
for
damage.
+1. Yeah, because we do have evil, so
Might be worth a shout just for a bit of extra
yeah, why
damage.
not
'Cause
put it in?
it's a
Yeah,
static.
I don't see
It's
why
just
not.
a static pump.
Yeah, you're just losing one full eye, and if we're playing desperation stuff, it's not horrendous to get us to that condition. Yeah, right. Let's see where we're at now. Obviously, we're going to be like up at like 80 something, 91. Yeah, so we know we've got to cut a good few, but like at least from the 30, like now we know like there's a solid like 15-15 basically that we can cut from mids and lows. I think we leave highs where we're at. We don't touch highs now, but we
I
cut
feel good.
like about 15-15 is probably like the nice route. So two
That'd stick
diffs.
you about 61 cards as well.
Yeah, like two diffs aren't actually that crazy. There's a good few of them. Maybe we could cut one or two, but not super necessary. I think red right's the coolest. I think it's probably the first to go just out of curiosity because we've got red counter, and yeah, it's so subjective. I think off of like it's only going to potentially pop on 3. Are we really letting them build to deadlock as well? Yeah, I think it's got to go. I want it not to go because I love the card so much, but yeah, I think it's got to go. Like manly passionate's great because it gives us so many outs. Um, let's see.
Battle for dominance as well here.
Yeah, I'm kind of like not vibing with it. Aye, I think it's got to go. So that's just already like swayed out 8 of the 15 for the lows, which is great. The only other lows, I think on other lows,
The Akuma 2 diff down to 2.
yeah,
And
let's go down to
then
2. Um, honestly, I would I would copy. I would go 3 copies of Manly and 3 copies of Feifei
I'd play 4 Manly just because it's
for
such a
Manly.
good card.
I'm going to go
Yeah.
3 for Feifei though, because I feel as if like if we keep protecting infield, the -5 speed. I mean, maybe even drop that. I kind of like feel like we could drop that to 3 as well.
It's 2 of that, to be fair.
2 of, yeah. Let's go 2 of. Because it's like subjective, where it's like we're just adding that on a defensive scenario. I think offensively we could still also use it.
Very
But
situational, yeah.
but
If
the
we know they're
problem,
definitely not going to block.
it's like if we
but
know they're not blocking, because the only flaw with it is it does the cost comes in and the actual minus speed does apply to our attack. Because it's this attack, so it would apply. So it's one of those ones where we'd have to super know they can't block or they're on the wrong zones. So yeah, I'm thinking 2. I think it's really only going to come in on a defense end.
that was another 5, right? That we just cut?
Yeah, so it's
Like 2 more.
5. So we're down to 78, and blocks we're now at 21 on the mids. So like, keep it roughly there. Let's try and cut the. I think we actually cut enough, to be fair. If we then cut mids, because what we at 78. So yeah, we need to cut 18. So technically, we probably need to cut maybe 3 more, but maybe the mids might have more to cut. To be fair, like, maybe not. Oh no. Oh, the mids are going to be tough because I think it's mostly because they're on the attacks. Yeah.
I've played a lot of pet 0 diffs that you probably don't need.
Yeah, that as well. Like, I feel as if we probably are we really do. How much do we really care about getting the desperation? I'm going to cut that on you on United Rebels. I'm going to cut that. I think we either keep the discard draw or
You've got to keep voice. It's just
yeah,
so good, man. It's just better Bertan's coaching.
I know, but I think that then forces us to drop keeping Eri safe though.
Always side keeping Eri safe anyway. If you're gonna play it in like events and whatnot. I know the plan was to give this out.
Oh
You
yeah,
could
yeah.
always like throw in a little sideboard for people.
I'm gonna maybe board it so I remember that because I'll just copy that and do something like that. But yeah, we'll cut that because I think we can't cut anything else mid. That's the I think the problem with it is it's because the attack package is so heavy mid. Because what that takes us down to 70. Yes, we need to cut. I mean, there is a world where you could cut potentially attacks and go 20 attacks. To be fair, or do we cut? Do we just cut the maximum harden and just take it as a hit?
I don't know, man. I really like it because
So they are.
it it lets you build when you block with it, and then you've
Yep.
also got like manly passionate to build when you block with it as well. Well,
Where are we at? Let's
when you
see.
block with something else.
Because we're at 21, 19, and 30, and oh man, is there a world? Right, let's see. What are we at? Can we lose? Can we lose 3 attacks? Right. Like, can we lose a red counter, an acid man, and a hardware?
No, don't lose acid man. I just lose all 3 red counters
Do you
before I
think?
lost a single acid man.
Right, I'm going to agree with
Like
that.
acid man is just the best attack in the whole deck, man.
And I think if we do that, I'm going to, I'm going to, because it needs to be 20 attacks at least, right? I actually think
Yeah.
I actually think the point whip's the right one to increase over hardware. To be honest,
I do really like that attack.
yeah, I think that actually just comes into such a because I think when you're playing hardware, right, the idea there is you're just forcing like a bad scenario for your opponent starting off, but mid to late, it's not really got anything going for it. Whereas point whips just did they block because it's silly damage. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to stick with that. I think we go there. We're down to 67. I mean, there's a world where we could be above 60. To be fair, like, but I feel like if I have them all rocking at 60, they all feel fair. Let's see.
Stuff though.
Like, is there? I'm trying to think. Let's get it to 65, right? See if we get it to 65, I'm fine with that.
Triple couple more low blocks then maybe, because it's at 21 low blocks.
So what we cutting though?
Maybe 2 of the 2 different Kuma card.
The Shin Goku.
No, not that one. The one above it, the one that's a 4x.
So we can't drop that because it's part of the package.
Ah.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe just cut the Protecting Friends entirely then, because it's more situationally useful than the other stuff. Yeah.
Right,
I like the ability to give your attacks damage, because sometimes it's going to matter.
So 65, right? And we've got 20 high blocks, 26 mid, 19 low. I think that's actually a relatively great block zone scenario. Like, that's really good.
It's fairly balanced.
I think attack zones is funny because we're either swinging high or a couple mid. So, like, we're also, like, focusing heavily on one zone, basically. Yeah, I like this. I'm going to enjoy building this. That's so funny. That is such a great deck. This is also the thing that I genuinely love about retro though, is genuinely this entire scenario is we're building popper decks on retro that like you could genuinely take this to like an actual event and do fairly consistently. I think
back in the day, the company used to print a lot of very, very strong commons and uncommons.
Yeah.
I know now it's shifted to be more like rare and ultra focused, but like back in the day, a lot of the best cards were common and uncommon.
Ah, yeah, that shows how many zero diffs exist. Right, we're
There's
locking this
so
in.
many
So
good
this is the first one, right? So like, we're going to wrap up shortly anyway because I was only going to build one tonight because I've had a long day. But
Fair enough.
I will say if anyone wants to join on Friday, I will be attempting will be attempting Ermac on Friday.
I'll ask Burberg to send me his Mac deck from Nationals one year
Yeah,
to
that
get
would be
ideas
funny.
from that.
So the Ermac
I,
deck is a bit of a spoiler, right? What I'll say is the character package that exists for it right now has 2 Ermac's teleport punch, 2 We Are Many, You Are But One, and then it has 4 soul charge, 4 telechoke, 4 fusion of souls, and 4 telekinetic mastery, which is a disgusting card because this is going to be a fun one to build because I actually never built Ermac during the days of standard.
I just have PTSD from Burberg's Mac.
Robux.
It had so many 6 tricks in it, man.
Oh, I could own that. I think Murray played one right that was TK Mastery, and then every other card was basically a character. Like it was so silly. It was like either I'm playing these attacks, or I've literally just got 6 chicks, and I was just like, yeah, this sucks. I was playing Goro back then as well, so like everything was like you are having no damage, and I was like, this is not fair. He's got too many responses to my 4 damage. I remember once going like 5 attacks deep into the pool against Murray's Ermac once, and like I couldn't apply damage to anything because I knew it was going to end up in minus damage. So if I basically Reese, right, if there was one game I played against Murray, right, where if I gave it 4 damage, he gave it -8.
He's pretty.
Yeah, and that was
I had
the casual of casual responses.
I had a similar problem with Quan Chi when I was playing Liu Kang. I needed to use like 1,000,000 enhancers to do anything.
Yeah,
And Quan Chi gives -1 damage on every time I play an
on
enhance.
everyone.
So I was like, cool, I get to just play my 3 damage base attacks, not do any enhancers because otherwise my attacks don't do any damage.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
it's
just like, play a
you
guy,
just like
pass.
yeah, I literally you play him pass.
I says that, mate, but then I realised I was jumping in here as well.
Oh, it's Murray. Oh, it's Scott. So we just built an Akuma deck for retro.
Go.
Um,
Bet you it's shite.
no, it's up on stream. It's up on stream. Shush, shush. I copied
What's the
yours.
answer there?
I actually like it.
Uncop.
It's a common and it's a common uncommon, but it's got like 2 rare attacks and 2 rare foundations in it because it was the wee
There's no
character
fucking
bundles.
common and uncommon.
No, shush, because I built it off of the character bundles that I'd already pre-created, right? So we've got Akuma, we've got 4 barrier shield, right? Because that is the funnest shit ever. It hits somebody with a breaker 4, basically. We've got 2 maximum harden to give everything damage and then hack their check, or block and hack check. Attack lineup, we're going 4 acid man to flip a foundation for damage, and then when it resolves, flip. 4 pinpoint focus, so that if the attack's blocked, they add a random card to from their hand to the card pool face down, and then they draw, and then we also get to flip this one. We've then got the Akuma stuff, and then we've got 2 hardware hurls. So we get to add a card add a foundation to stage the card pool face down. Chunky 3 damage. If it deals damage, face downs don't count towards progressive for the next card we play. Meaning the other 2 non-Akuma ones get in for basically the Akuma cost. I love this, man. This is so good. We then also hit like a major wall with 0 diffs being actually playable in retro. Because I think I added about 20. So we had to make some cuts. So we're running 4 Voice of Reason, 4 Easily Excited, 4 Profane Sanctuary. Then on the 1 diffs, we've got the 4 Enlightened by Defeat, 4 Incubating, 4 Manly Passionate Guy, 3 Fei, and then on the 2 diffs, we're running with 4 World Without Battle, 4 Drained by a Kiss, 2 Shun Gokus, and then the 3 diffs we've got 2 the power to connect realms, because that's the rare that we have in the character bundle. Block zones 20 high, 26 mid, 19 low. I think this is alright.
Yeah, I think so. I can't think of
Money-
any changes
that-
immediately.
What's that, Murray?
Say Murray hated it that much he's left.
It did actually leave as well.
It's someone on TTS. I need to.
If I hear a knock on the door, I'm going to panic if he's like came here to beat me up.
We don't need you having another heart attack.
That's true. That's true. Right. I'm going to deafen myself for 2 seconds. I'm going to wrap up stream though. It is getting late, so I'll be back in here in a second. Right, to everyone. So that is the Akuma deck that Murray is going to beat me up about or build. Right, there's a world where genuinely he builds this. Right, is all I'm saying. Murray might be like, the man has just cooked greatness into a deck that he's going to now take and have people try to beat as one of his popper decks. I'm just saying he could do it, or he's going to upgrade it aggressively and hit me with it. Right, that's more likely going to happen. That is more likely. But I do like this. As I say, this week coming up, obviously I wanted to get this stream out of the way just so we had another stream in, because next week it's a rough one. Tomorrow, probably no stream. Really don't expect a stream tomorrow. I think I'll be knackered. I think I'll be fucked. Expect a stream Thursday night, more than likely Thursday night, right? I might be dead out of the 3 shifts, but like we'll be fine enough to maybe make probably some DbD, just chill, do some fun stuff. Then Friday we're going to get back into card game mode. We've got Ermac for definite. Maybe I can get a couple more people on to help build with us, because this has been a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this. Maybe we also can look at Katana as well. That could be quite fun. Those 2 decks could be really fun to build. Maybe a third deck. As I say, I have about 20 plus decks to build. I want to be at least able to take 10 to Spain in 2 weeks' time. So that's the idea. So we're going to lock this out, everybody. We're going to tap on out. I'm assuming UK versus is done with stream. Are they still streaming? Are they still streaming? I can't actually tell if they're live or not. They're like, I don't know. They're all over the, I don't know. That's fine. So we're going to tap out, everybody. I had a lot of fun. This was good though. So we're going to continue to do this, obviously, on Friday, which will be the next proper stream. So Thursday for like a DbD stream, maybe Fall Guys or something, just chill vibes. Friday back to card game content, get some stuff done. Probably even try and build these in person as well, could be quite good, because obviously everything's behind me. And yeah, we're going to tap out there, and I shall see you all on Thursday night. So it is a little bit of a weird gap. I'll probably be streaming on Saturday as well, to be fair. Bear that in mind. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for joining, and I shall see you all Thursday night.